have been many great kingdoms in the past. The reason for their ascendance was not the power of the military, but the power of their minds. From 755 AD to 1258 AD was the golden age of Islam. This period saw the zenith of Muslim achievements in learning and culture. The shining stars of literature, poetry, philosophy, mathematics, chemistry and medicine amongst Muslim scholars are too numerous to count, and many are still revered in the West today. The quest for their learning was relentless. They would search and research. Today we feel tall because we stand on the shoulders of such giants. And when the light of learning is dimmed, it always brings with it the void of disillusionment and darkness. In today's modern world, one vital breakthrough of knowledge is today's agricultural revolution. It addresses our most important physical need, food. The evolution of food gathering from a largely cumbersome mode to one where it can easily be picked in a magical garden called the hypermarket is a quantum leap for civilization in a matter of a few generations. Now, with machines and fertilizers, large areas are cultivated by a single person, and crops continue to have better yields and quality. At the root of this agricultural revolution is one single variable: agricultural research. Like air, whether we see it or not, agricultural research plays a critical role in our lives. Agriculture is the largest income and employment generating sector of Pakistan's economy. The British government left a good model of agriculture research for Pakistan. Before partition, they set up a cotton research station at Multan, Agriculture College in Faisalabad, and a Basmati research station in Kala Shakaku. After independence, the system effectively played its role in agriculture development in rural areas by generating farm-specific, high-yielding and low-cost technologies. After the creation of Pakistan, slowly the system lost its coherence and coordination among various institutions. This badly affected the flow of innovations in the agriculture sector, and as a result, the sector lost its competitiveness in the national and international markets. Punjab's agricultural sector counts for almost 1/5 of GDP and employs 44% of the labor force in Pakistan. It is not surprising that this region is poised to be the food hub of the world. It is thus mind-boggling that despite intensive farming practices, Pakistan remains a net food importer. The growth in our agricultural sector is being stagnated by inefficient and outdated farming and production techniques, ineffective use of land and water resources, resulting in poor hygiene and low food standards. The main reason of poor agricultural growth is the lack of knowledge and paying practically no attention to research. Indian cotton production was 9 million bales in 2005 compared to ours, which was 13 million. In the last few years alone, our production has barely managed to stay the same, while India has increased its cotton production significantly. One of the main reasons for this has been their focus on spending more resources on agricultural research and import of technologies. Our agricultural research system has been on a downward trend due to lack of planning, coordination and monitoring mechanisms, dwindling research investments, increasing share of research budget channeled towards salaries, missing international collaboration, and lack of incentive to be innovators. The country is in 30% deficit in feed resources to sustain the existing livestock population. The animals are underfed and merely body maintenance requirements are being met, with little left to be converted into milk or for rapid body growth. The roughages and fodders have poor nutritional values. Research is needed to increase the fodder yield to provide healthy food to the livestock population for milk and meat requirements. The Punjab Agricultural Research Board was created to improve research planning, develop monitoring mechanisms, enhance research investments, especially in operation, strengthen national and international collaboration, encourage private sector in research, and incentivize innovations.
PARB is striving to create a scientific culture in the country, a culture where producers are looking forward technologies, not subsidies on input, to enhance productivity and income from their farms.
PARB and its divisions. Planning and programming. This division is responsible for identification and prioritization of researchable issues. Monitoring and evaluation. This division is engaged in scientific monitoring and evaluation of research activities funded by PARB. Coordination division. This division coordinates between national and international research organizations. Administration and finance. This division is responsible for evaluation, management and implementation of financial and administrative plans of PARB. In addition, there is an information technology unit to develop and maintain an interactive website to online monitor the research system and financial matters. It also provides web-based solution to share important information among stakeholders. PARB is also providing funds for publication of research papers in international journals, publication of technical books, and importing of technologies for local adaptation. Some of the main functions of PARB are to fund research projects through competitive grant system, to strengthen the agriculture research system through capacity building of scientists, to fund projects for import of technologies for local adaptation, to collaborate with international research organizations to develop networking among the scientists and research institutes.
With PARB, we have got direct access to provincial funds, and currently I have about 600 million in research portfolio, and about a third of that is coming from PARB.
The main themes of PARB are enhanced productivity of major cropping system on sustainable basis, promote diversification and commercialization, conserve resources and protect the environment, improve competitiveness by value addition, and promote knowledge-based agricultural policies. We rely too heavily on natural climate and weather. Agricultural research will help us maximize our yields even if weather is not favorable.
We appreciated the policy of PARB for a coordinated research project which opened up the avenues for national and international institutions.
The concept of research and its benefits in agriculture is simple. By using inputs like fertilizers, we get a certain amount of yield using the traditional methods. But with the same amount of input, we can increase the yield significantly simply by using scientific innovation. and thus we end up with a surplus. Now let's see if this concept works in reality. Following is a comparison of our agriculture output between 2 decades. In the first decade, a certain amount of input in the form of fertilizers and pesticides were used. In the following decade, the inputs were increased. In the first decade, a fair amount of agriculture research went with the input, whereas in the next decade, the amount spent on research was negligible. See what happens to the eventual output. Despite adding inputs, when we decreased the amount of research, our final yield was drastically low, thus resulting in huge job and financial losses for the nation.
I have worked with many funding agencies, but this is a very unique feature of PARB is that they have a very well-defined system of monitoring and evaluation.
Competitiveness can be enhanced in terms of good production, low cost, high yield while maintaining the quality of the produce. All great achievements in history have been due to scientific research leading to knowledge and know-how. It is imperative that we now invest heavily in agricultural research.
Agricultural research can increase productivity, reduce per unit cost, thus help to minimize the food inflation in the country, improve international and national competitiveness of agriculture commodities.
Without agriculture, we will have no food for our future generations. We will not be able to compete in the international markets, and we will lose the economic wars that are being fought today. Our edge is our agriculture. We must allocate enough resources and funds for research in the agricultural sector. We must also collaborate with international professional bodies. We must get our hands on the readily available technologies and research methodologies, and we must plan long term. Let's not commit the crime of turning our backs on our future generations by ignoring agricultural research.